Let's go. Get in here, everybody get in here. It's time for a legendary show. All right. Get in here, everybody get in here. Get in here, everybody get in here. It's time for a legendary show. What's poppin', everybody? I'm trying to make sure y'all can see me today. Y'all can hear me today. You know what I don't have is my phone. Ain't that something? I ain't even got my phone. So if you texting me, I don't even got it. But guess what? I know one thing. The lips is moving with the sound. If the lips is moving in sync with the sound, let me get in here. Okay? All right. So, listen. The ish has hit the fan. Okay? And it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Okay? Oh, they said the lips are in sync, baby. I know. Listen, I was up all night on dealing with the customer care. It was just a whole thing, you know. But listen, we didn't hear to talk about me and you know, us being out of sync. Because today, oh, they saying slow down the chat. Okay, let me slow down the chat real quick for the one time before we get into it. And then I'm not gonna look at the chat because we got to get into these topics. Okay, let me slow down the chat real quick. Let me slow down the chat. Okay. All right. The conversation for today is going to be about how Nicki Minaj fans and how people are feeling like they want to discredit the victim, or Jennifer Hugh now that she has a name. But I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the conversation that she had on The Real. Okay, so Jennifer Hugh, she went on The Real today to discuss Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty. Let me grab this. Let me grab this right here. Yes, she did. Okay. She went on the Real today to discuss them. First of all, she's a very beautiful woman. Very, 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 very beautiful lady. Okay. She's definitely not white. If anything, I would give her like Puerto Rican, Cuban, something like that. But she's definitely not white. But anyway, she went on The Real. And she talked about her situation with Kenneth Petty and what happened. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. The story that she said, we've already heard this story if you've been following on YouTube. It wasn't a surprise to us because we already know this story. We know more details of the story than she has left out. It is just now getting to the mainstream public. Okay? I believe her. Her story is the same. It's consistent. And I just don't feel like there's a reason not to believe her. Okay? And of course, we're all watching with this certain air of, do we believe her? Do we not? Is she making eye contact? Is she crying too much? What is she doing? And unfortunately, you know, we've gotten to that point where we don't really trust people that come out and speak out, especially because, you know, a lot of people do things for attention. However, this scenario, I don't feel like that she's doing this for attention. She made it very clear that the only reason why she's speaking out is because Kenneth and Nicki have been harassing her to recant her statement. And that kind of brings me to the overall topic of today's conversation. Everybody wants to know why now. A lot of Nicki Minaj fans are questioning, why did she come out and get on The Real? Why did she talk about it now? And here's my thing. I think that's a bunch of baloney. I'm going to tell you why I think it's a bunch of baloney. Because when she first started, and I'm guilty of this myself. Because when she first started, I was one of those people like, girl, why are you going to YouTubers? You know, why aren't you going to, you know, the police? Okay. Why don't you go to the police? Why didn't you go to, hold on. Why didn't you go to this person? Why didn't you go to this publication? Why didn't you do this? Well, to be honest with you, now we're at a point where she's done that. She's got a lawyer. She's went to the police. She's got on the major platforms and talked about it. So it's kind of like she's damned if she does, she damned if she doesn't. I believe that Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty were harassing her to recant her statement. I'm not even going to argue whether or not if I believe that he assaulted her or not, because at this point, as far as I'm concerned, he did it. He was charged. He did the time for it. Okay. The conversation now has Nicki Minaj and has Kenneth Petty harassed her to recant her statement? Have they threatened her? Have they tried to bully her? And the answer is absolutely yes. And I feel like this woman has been bullied to recant her statement since it happened. It was something interesting that she talked about in her interview on The Real. She said that pretty much her family wanted her to go and drop the charges. She said that she went to go drop the charges. And what ended up happening was she stood up in court and said, I want to drop the charges, but she felt bullied because first of all, what it's telling me is I feel like she was part of some, like, either some foster care or she was a part of some adoption. I don't feel like this was her biological mother and father or family ideal living situation. I feel like they were afraid of Kenneth Petty. I feel like Kenneth Petty had some pull around the streets. I feel like he was a bully back then. Let's not forget, Kenneth Petty clearly has a rap sheet. We know that Kenneth Petty has a rap sheet. So let's not deny that fact either. Let's not deny the fact that Kenneth Petty has a career criminal rap sheet. I could understand if this was a one-off incident, but he's an M-word. He's been violent. He was a part of the Bloods. So I could see her being afraid to press charges in that moment. And I could see her family being afraid in that moment as well and wanting her to recant the statement because they don't want any problems. Inevitably, she didn't have to end up doing it. He got convicted of attempted R-word. Now, apparently, it's he didn't fully do it. That's what I'm not clear about. But it's saying that he's now attempted to harass her. Okay, this was an attempt. That's what I'm getting. Now, what's interesting though about this situation is that this story has continued to follow her. Because then Kenneth Petty gets with Nicki Minaj. After he's registered for over 20 years, he gets with this celebrity wife, girlfriend, whatever, who he feels as though, in my mind, can protect him or who is above the law. So he decides not to register. Now, through all of this, though, they had been contacting Jennifer to recant her statement. Why? Because it gets him off of the registered SO list. No one wants that to be attached to their name. Okay? She does not want to recant her statement. They bullied her privately. They've sent goons after her privately. Nicki Minaj has reached out to her privately. And this is where Nicki messed up. And this is why I don't really necessarily feel bad for Nicki, because she inserted herself when she went on Queen Radio, and she inserted herself in it. And to me, that was an attempt by Nicki Minaj as a final straw of desperation, okay, to leverage her fan base in a way to bully Jennifer or to make her, to put her in a place of fear so that she could recant the statement. And it's not working. So now, we've talked about this before. Now Kenneth Petty is getting desperate, so they've got a lawyer now, and now he's hiring the state of New York because he does not. And he's hired a lawyer, and now he's suing the state of New York because he does not want to be a part of the registered sex offenders list. So, with all that being said, I don't understand why people don't believe that Nicki Minaj would try and get this woman to recant her statement. I don't understand why people don't believe that Nicki Minaj would utilize all her resources, street resources, celebrity resources, fan base resources, to try to bully this woman into recanting her statement. Another thing that we have to be very clear about, Jennifer was not on camera. Jennifer was not publicly anywhere. She came on YouTube and made a video and asked if Nicki Minaj could stop bullying her and sending people to her house. She did not want to be seen. It was not until Nicki Minaj addressed it on Queen Radio, called her white, is when people started digging her up. And see, I was talking to some people, and a lot of people are like, well, what if this is now a ploy against Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj came against the federal government when she was talking about the C-19 in the vaccine? Do you feel as though now they're coming against her to end her career because she did that? The answer is yes and no. Yes and no, because this woman has been speaking before before Nicki Minaj did this. A lot of you guys are blinded by it because you guys don't take things seriously that's on YouTube. Or you feel as though, okay, it's come from this content creator, I don't care to watch it. Oh, if no major publications are talking about it, it must not be real. If the Shade Room didn't post it, it's not real news. So a lot of people turn a blind eye to things like that if the larger publications aren't talking about it. Okay, but this woman has been speaking out. She's been speaking out. Just now, I feel like she has more resources. Now, I feel like that's the due diligence of her lawyer. And, why not? In my mind, why not leverage the controversy around Nicki Minaj, make a phone call to somebody that can get you on the real because she's putting out misinformation about, health stuff, and she's pissed some people off. I mean, people do that all the time, but it does not take away from the fact that Jennifer's story could be true or false. I mean, true or false. It doesn't take away from the fact that it could be true or false. That has nothing to do with it. But it could be somebody's like, well, hey, I see this case here. Well, I know I can reach out to somebody and I can get her on the real. Or that could just be the lawyer doing his job to get her seen publicly so that we can put face to name to story so that she can build sympathy. As a lawyer, he's doing his job. And it's getting out there. This is what and for her, this is what she's supposed to do. She came out on YouTube. She did interviews on YouTube. It got on the blogs. She got a lawyer. She's went to the police. You take that ish to television. Why should it be that Nicki Minaj can go on her platform with millions and millions of people and control the narrative? Why can't she get on TV? Why can't she get on TV? Why is it a problem now for her to get on TV? If she wasn't getting on TV, a lot of us wouldn't be talking about it, and a lot of us wouldn't care. Because we would say, well, why aren't any major publications picking this up? So she's damned if she do, and she's damned if she doesn't, because she actually went through all the proper channels. And every time a victim comes out The first, especially when they come out on social media, the first thing we say is, why didn't she go to the police? Why is she on YouTube? Well, okay. Well, this woman did it all. She went to the police. She's suing. She's went to YouTube. Now she's went to television. I can't blame her. She's doing what needs to be done to get this out. Why would this woman go on TV? I think this is bigger than a clout. What does she get out of this? Kenneth has already been convicted, and we know that he wants this to be removed because he's already suing the state of New York. So if he's suing the state of New York, alleging that he had no recollection, he did not sign the plea deal, he wasn't even at the address when the paperwork was submitted there. He didn't sign his name on it. He didn't have the right representation. Then you got Nicki Minaj on here saying that she was going to recant her statement before. However, she was afraid to go to jail for 90 days. So you mean to tell me with all those different variables, they're not contacting her themselves, saying, can you recant the statement? I will offer you X, Y, and Z. Let me get on a phone call with you. Let's have a conversation. You mean to tell me that you don't think at one point at all that they've ever reached out to her? And if they did, and they didn't do it in a malicious way, you don't think that Nicki Minaj would have debunked that by now with the receipts? You don't think Nicki Minaj would have came out and said, I've never talked to her. We've never sent anybody. I've reached out to her one time. We had a regular conversation, and that was it. Because she clearly knows who the woman is. Now, I don't think that this woman would get up here and lie about being the alleged victim. She'd be a damn fool if she would say that this ain't her. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't understand why people are saying or trying to discredit the fact that they could have been contacting her. Like, why wouldn't you think why is that too far off to believe that Nicki Minaj wouldn't have any lawyers or goons or fans, depending on, first let's try it the civil way. That didn't work. Let's try it. Let's scare with some goons. That didn't work. All right, Nicki, you get involved. Go on Queen Radio. Gaslight your fans to bully her. You don't think that happened? You don't think that Nicki Minaj, she's done this before. She has went on Queen Radio and literally said, forget Queen Radio. She just put out a reporter's information out in Trinidad. She just doxed a reporter, bro. She leaked Jason Lee's number. Remember? Cardi's number got leaked. She's even said on Queen Radio before that, listen, I'm going to start shouting people out and I'm going to have the barbs attack you. Or I'm going to start retweeting and tweeting people's picture out so the barbs will come for you. She have said this. Then, not too long ago, she made a post on Instagram, whether it was true, false, whatever, we don't know what it was, but she made a post on Instagram. Do we not remember when she said, I got 50K, who outside? So she's with that type of energy. Okay? So we can't sit here and act like she's above that. You think that she wants her husband to be registered? You don't think that they reach, you're crazy. Now, I was going to go and be messy because then you also have YouTubers, people trying to insert themselves in it, dying for an interview, dying to be on Queen Radio, dying for a moment. So we're going to give her a moment today. You have people like this pushing a narrative, but then when they're getting dragged, they like to holler black woman, woman this and woman that. However, but I thought you said you never spoke to, you know what? Let me pull the video. I don't want to victim shame. Yeah, she's pulling the video. And while we pulling videos, Let's pull videos on how you really feel, Tasha K. Because you know this is ridiculous. You know this is ignorant. But see, you got a phone call from Nicki Minaj. You see what a phone call changes the game. Now you're team Nicki Minaj because you got Karen Civil and you got a phone call and she follows you. I get it. And listen, it's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. But we, the people, and everybody has to be honest with biases, personal biases, and things of that. Okay, we have to be okay with that. But when you're over here screaming black women this and women that and woman this, when you know that this is wrong, and you know deep down that this woman, it's not above them contacting. I mean, here's the thing: they're still going to have to approve that this woman, that Nicki Minaj has contacted them. But the U.S. Marshals have already identified phone records. Okay? But let's go back to Tasha K for a moment, who's just dying to be inserted. So let's insert her. Never forget.
The manifestation is here, okay?
Never forget. This is what Tasha K really feels about Nicki Minaj and Kenneth. In that house. So if you don't know what she said the manifestation is real. Nicki Minaj ain't got no Grammys, but she's got her living with her in that house. No, that can't pay now one mother effing bill in that house. Okay? Tasha K also discussed Nicki Minaj's brother, and she also discussed, and this was the double whammy for me. She also discussed Tekashi 6ix9ine. And here was her thoughts on this.
So listen. So yes, this is important. This is not about bad publicity or good publicity. This has to do with Nicki Minaj's reputation. And if you have a reputation linked to pedophiles, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you at all.
Yet you're in the comments defending her. What a contradiction, Tasha K. You're a joke. So what you have to say doesn't matter. Just say you want it to be inserted. Here you have it. Get out the way, baby. This is not your fight. Because you don't even mean what you truly say. You're just looking for people to grow your channel. So stop gaslighting the people. Stop being funny. Stop being phony. Stop being fake. Just say you want to be aligned to Nicki Minaj because that's the last major celebrity that you have in your back pocket. No one else is fooling with you. So Tasha K, you stay out of it. Because that's how you really truly feel. Now that's what you call a receipt, baby. Now, and so so everybody's trying to get in here and start dragging this woman and trying to make it seem like she has to be lying about something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if she's lying and we'll see if she's not. I personally don't think that she would have to lie about them, harassing her, because to me, I feel like it's clear that they are. But all right, I'm going to open up the lines. The number is 563-999-3658. Do you believe, Jennifer? Do you believe that they are harassing her? Or is she doing this for clout? Okay, let me read a couple. Thank you, Christine Bale, for the $49 super chat. ASMR Exotic Eats Play. $50. Many blessings to you. Love and light. Thank you so much, baby. Drewski Reality Revealed. That's messed up. She used her money to bully her. Also, Christian Chanel. The barbed wires and barboons are down horrendous. These stands always say believe the victim until it comes down to their fave. And all of a sudden, the victim is a liar. They're too into their fave to think logically. Hotshot Radio. Speak on it, Armon. Trashy K is fraudulent victim scammer and she needs to be called out. Thank you. Thank you. Okay? And here's the thing. It's not even whether or not, because what it's starting to sound like to me now, people are almost, and Nicki would rather you do this too, people are almost trying to say that he didn't do it at all. Like That's where I feel like they're trying to lead to. Like, he didn't do anything. And she just made this whole thing up. Like they were two consenting adults. In reality, I'm not even going to argue that. What we can argue, though, is if they're harassing her or not. I'm not going to argue if he did it or not. I believe that he did it. He got convicted. Period. All right, guys, we're going to get into some things. I want to shout out to all the new people that's in here. Get in here. Get in here. It's time for a legendary show. The number is 563-999-3658. All right, let's talk about it. Oh, wow, the queue was already full. All right, let me take the first caller. 1958, you're live on the air. Uh-oh, hopefully I can hold on, can you hear me? Uh-oh, let me see. 0768, you're live on the air. Child, where y'all at? Let me see. 9232, can you hear me? Hold on, let me see, child. Let me reconnect because the girls can't hear. We're gonna get into some things. Ciao. This is some tea. Hold on.
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
It appears that the host has already dialed into this show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
I can't hear y'all though. 3017. I can't hear none of these damn people. It's got to be me all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna end this and I'm gonna bring it back, y'all. Not the live. We're gonna reset the call to see if we can get them on. Okay. Hold on. While I'm doing that, they said congratulations for 4K in the chat. Thank you. Okay, let me read some of the comments here. Hi Armon, I'm so over Nicki and her bullying. Bullying ways and the followers behind her who act like she pays their bills. Groupthink is a disease. Okay? Listen, my thing is, don't act as if this is just out of the ordinary, that they possibly cannot be harassed by her. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's not something that's out of the ordinary, child. It's just honestly not. Oh, they saying the live is perfect today. Yeah, I had to work on that. I had to make sure that was right, because child, that was sending me. Now this call in, this be blog talk sometimes, so we'll see. But if not, we'll do the after show on StationHead so you guys can call in and give your opinion at blog talk trying it. But I appreciate all y'all for coming through and busting through and getting into some things. Now, here's my question though. Do y'all think that Nicki Minaj's career will suffer from this?
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press...
Your show is scheduled to start in 30 seconds.
Okay, let's get the tea. Let me see if I can hear this caller. Hello?
Minaj's career.
Turn me down in the back. Turn me down in the back. Turn me down in the back, baby.
Your
Turn me
show
down in the
will
back.
go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Hello.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, baby. What's going on? Hello?
Armon. First of all, I love your show. I am so
Thank
glad
you.
you posted those receipts on Instagram. Exactly. I was waiting at the door because I listened to your live last night, this morning when I got to work.
Okay.
So first, my name is Ebony. I'm from Atlanta. Hello. So I think she is lying. this is, like you said, this is in her character. She's already shown us this is who she is as a person.
Yes.
What pisses me off is in our community, we're not willing to accept who people are just because they celebrities. Like, what are we willing to accept just because they can bang out a hit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And I think it's also important to add to what you're saying. A lot of people think that she shouldn't be included in this. Like, what does Nicki have to do with this? And she has everything to do with this, especially once you decided to marry and have a baby with this man. You're involved.
Exactly. You vetted him, honey. You had enough money, means, and resources, just like us regular women do, to vet this man. But like you said, she needed a strong arm because she felt like she was being bullied. She didn't have Wayne and Drake. So maybe she felt like, okay, this street nigga, this street end, he'll have my back, and da 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 da. And I'm sorry. I just feel like she needs to be held accountable. And it's crazy because so many people are being like, hey, why now? And why is Nicki involved? Do y'all not listen to YouTube? Like, you said this a long time ago when she started with that vaccine stuff.
Thank you. You listen, I love you, but y'all not gonna get my thing shut down. Sure. You know that. You know you can't do that over here like that. Now you know that. Now you know you can't do. Don't listen. We got a full queue, so I will hang up on you. 7757 is no strong N words, no strong F words, R words, and we definitely not talking about no vaccine and no C19. Okay, you better abbreviate. 7757, you live on the air.
Hello.
Yes. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Armon. First of all, Nicki, let's just get into it. So, you know, I don't expect anything out of the norm from her because she already had the situation with her brother. Like, you know how that whole situation went down with her brother, how she was caping for him and everything like that. And I just think it's just crazy, you know, how she was defending her brother. She tried to use the college thing for the kids, basically, to deflect from the situation that was going on with her brother, first of all. And then right after that,
and then I think she also said that the brothers or the girlfriend or somebody was trying to extort her for $25 million. Remember, she was trying to say something like that happened with the brother too, and it came out that the brother was guilty.
Exactly. So I feel like she tries to use different things before, you know, major things come out to deflect from the situation. Like the situation now, the C19 situation, and then boom, here comes this. You see, like, she's trying to deflect, and now it's cricket. She's just silent. She don't want to say nothing now. You know, you can't get a peep out of her. She was talking online all day long, and as soon as this comes out, cricket. She's not saying anything. She's so used to saying things online and stuff, but as soon as something gets real hot and heavy, you don't hear anything from her.
And see, and this is my thing, and this is my thing too, and this is my thing with that. Girl, you was all online, rah. As a black woman, they're trying to silence me. They're this, they're that, they're the third. So where's this energy now when now this woman has went on television and said these things? It's one thing if you want to act like you didn't see the YouTube video. It's another thing to act like you didn't see it written up on the blogs. But we know damn well you seen this on the real. Why aren't you debunking it? Why aren't you making a statement if it's so untrue? And you know you got those papers on Monday. So why are you not talking about it? Because there's some truth to what this woman is saying.
She's definitely not going to say anything, especially when the lawyer said that they have text message proof. There's nothing that she can say. There's absolutely nothing that she can say. This is going to go. The thing I really want to see is when we get down to the court, because she's going to have to show up. When we get down to the court, you're going to have to be there. You're going to say something. You're going to have to show up. Like, I just think it's ridiculous how they're going to bully this lady, you know, to something that happened before you even came into the picture. It's just ridiculous. And then Barb are just all online, just going crazy, cursing people out left and right, caping for her. And it's like, if that was your sister or your niece or anybody like that, would you be the same way? Mm-hmm. Would you act the same way? That was your niece, your child, your anybody in your family. You would not act the same way. Show the victim some respect. All she wanted to be was left alone. And none of this would have happened if she would have just left the woman alone. But she decided to get herself on Queen Radio and mention this lady when she was not bothering anybody, nobody at all. And it's just a shame. So she dug this hole herself, and now she has to sit in it with her.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I was gonna say I don't feel bad for Nicki. People are like, "Oh, I feel bad. I hate this for her." I was saying that too, but I'm like, well, wait a minute. You knew the guy you were with. You knew his history, but the issue is your self-esteem was so low, your confidence was so low, your self-worth was so low, and the desperation for a family and a child and companionship, okay, was so bad that you listened to whatever story he told you, so that he can land him a lifestyle change and a bag. I'm sure at some point Nicki was like, man, but you got all this stuff. He like, baby, like that, man, that ain't even real. That's not even true. She was 16. I was 17. She was 16. We were dating. Remember, Nicki kept putting out so much misinformation about their relationship. You weren't even around. And to be quite honest with you, girl, the way, like going a little bit deeper, girl, the way you even got with him was suspect. We didn't even know, like this was so random. Then it was all of a sudden you were married and in love, and what? What kind of voodoo was that?
He took him out of his relationship from another woman.
Yes.
Like,
and then had her beat up, allegedly.
Allegedly. She's just destroying her brand. This whole situation is destroying her brand. She let this man take her down and drag her through the mud. Mm-hmm. And I hope it was worth it, because her career is just not going to come back from it. It's not. You know.
So what do you think is going to happen to her career, though? I still think that she will manage to have a career, because people do realize that it wasn't her who actually committed the crime, but like as far as like the assault. However, I think the issue. So I think that people will forgive her if they find out that, okay, she was basically trying to get this woman to recant her statement. I mean, do you think that people would not? Now, the bigger thing is, will she get any endorsement deals, any brand deals, or does that even matter for her at this point?
See, that's what I think. I think depending on how this case goes, when it gets to, the courts and things like that, is going to determine how her career is going to go. Because if she keeps going the way that she's been doing from, since they called the lady out and everything like that, it's going to depend on how her career is going to go. Honestly, I feel like the only way to kind of save it is for her to just fall back, stay quiet, do what she needs to do for, PR purposes and do that. But if she just keeps talking and just being messy and still trying to do things behind doors, it's really not going to get you better, because at the end of the day, no brand is going to want to attach themselves to you for someone who is, knowingly threatening the victim or trying to pay somebody off and just doing so much just disgusting type of things. It's just, I'm just not here for it.
Okay,
Nicki,
thank you, baby.
Everything
we got to take some more calls. We got a lot of people here. Wow. All right, we got over 4,000 people in the chat. Shout out to the 4,373 people in the chat. Stream going steady. We getting into some things. Shadira, let's get into some things. 7931. I'm coming for you, but baby, we have literally almost a full queue. So if you want to get in here, you got to get in here now, because we got literally a couple slots left and it's going to get full. All right, 7931, you're live on the air.
Hey, Armon, how are you?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't talked to you in a while. So
I know. What you think about this whole situation?
I usually don't have nothing to say about the Nicki Minaj stuff. I just listen. But after all this listening, I do have a couple of opinions.
Okay.
I just feel like you threw everything away for a hood booger and a baby. And you could have, you truly could have, you could have had a baby with anybody. You really could have had a baby with anybody. You could have went and had a baby by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You could have went to a sperm bank and, you could have chose a doctor. I don't know. You could have done anything. So that's number one.
But you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's stop there real quick. Now, as a woman, maybe you're a woman. So tell me, do you think perhaps she could have got there? I mean, she's a woman of a particular age. She's almost 40 years old. She was in a 12-year relationship with Safari. That didn't pan out. That she was with Meek Mill for 2 or 3 years. That didn't pan out. However, they ended up moving on, getting into relationships, you know what I mean, having children.
Right.
And then she, then it was this whole rap thing, and every female rapper that she's went up against has been in relationships and had married and has children. Little Kim has a child. Cardi B, Remy Ma, they're in relationships. Now, Nicki Minaj, you talk about how beautiful you are, how wet your punani is, how good it is, and yet no one is wifing you. No one is impregnating you. Did she get desperate? Did she have low self-esteem?
That's what I'm saying. You threw it all away for a hood booger and a baby. You truly did. Like, you wanted a baby so bad. Like, I feel like the next relationship she got in, whether it was going to be Kenneth Petty or somebody else, she was going to have a baby. If that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. Like, she was going to have that baby because she's getting to the point. Women have that point where it's like, look, you need to have a baby or it's going to be a high-risk pregnancy. You need to go ahead and do this. So I think that was part of it. So leading off the hood booger and a baby, I just feel like, you see, when you be on Facebook and, old dude had a baby mama and then he left her and he goes to the next girl and she pregnant. But the new baby mama, she likes to talk and she likes to act like, I'm this and I'm that and girl, you wasn't nothing and he said you did this and you said you did that. But then, she have the baby and the tables turn. She have the baby and then it's like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that this boy came over here and acted like that he was just so good in this relationship and he left her and all this. In reality, he was beating her, he was doing this, he was doing that. You know how the girl just get in a new relationship and they just believe everything? Yes.
She did that.
Look, this is what I'm about to say. I feel like people feel like that's what Nicki did, but instead Nicki was like, this is my man, and I had a baby with him, and I'm not going to let y'all keep playing with him. So now I'm going to come on here, and I'm going to say, because I didn't have no Grammy and no family, and now I do, and I'm not going to let y'all play with my family because I still ain't got no Grammy. So now I'm going to have to come over here and let y'all know that my man is really not what y'all trying to make him be. We finna make this girl drop these charges because I believe I know what he did, but I don't want to live like this. I want.
Well, wait. Let me tell you something. It probably was that she had already made up in her mind because this is before the baby. I made up in my mind that I'm going to have his baby, so now I'm going to defend him. But exactly. I think this is where the queen didn't really play the chess, and she started playing checkers because she thought that. I mean, this is where you beat the narcissist, and she thought that if all else fails, if the goons don't work, if the money don't work, that everybody, she has like this God syndrome and this God complex where she thinks that in her mind, I'll just show up. Let me get on the phone. It'll work out because she's probably used to calling people up and everybody switching their tune. Like, oh my God, it's Nicki Minaj on the phone.
But this is a different situation.
And she gagged.
Violated. Right. I was violated by your husband. So why do you think that this little funky $20,000, like you said, that everybody that got the $20K ain't going to jail, baby. So she could have went to PPP loan if she really wanted $20K. So it's just like, I just really feel like she knew, and I think people think she was naive and to the fact, but I think she knew all the facts and she chose this. She chose this path. I think she chose this path. So it's like, and then the thing for me is you've been tarnishing your legacy all the way back since Cardi B started popping.
Yes,
and
she has.
I'm not trying to make this about Cardi B. Chat, please relax. I'm not making this about Cardi B. But what I'm saying is, Nicki, you've been that itch. Like, you've been her. So why did you think from the jump that you had to do all that stuff with Cardi B and it's only gone downhill since? It hasn't turned around. It's only gone downhill since. And I truly feel like this whole thing was because, like you said, everybody else around her got babies, so she felt inadequate, and we all know she's been wanting a baby. Now, me as a woman who don't want kids, I can't relate because I'm like, girl, I don't want no parasite inside me that bad, girl.
Oh, okay, girl, get up. Okay, get up. We can't do that. All right, because you can't be talking about the kids like that. All right. Super chats to the top, and we will take some more calls. 9693, you're live on the air.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, oh my gosh. This is a lot.
it's really a lot. It's really disgusting
Okay.
at this point.
Okay. Try again, baby, okay? All right, 3, 2, 1, 2. Please be ready. Turn me down in the back and please be ready. It's not me this time. It's definitely you. If the calls get ghetto, we will end them. 3, 2, 1, 2. You're live on the air.
Hey, Armon, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, before ASMR Exotic Eats and Play Sets, I swear I learned my urban slangs from this channel. Hood Booger. Shout out to you, baby. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't want to believe this, but I think the crown started falling a long time ago for Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
After Sheether came out,
Oh.
it gave us a little bit of a glimpse of her morality because when Remy Ma gave us that glimpse of that line talking about her brother and whether brothers
And don't you do it.
crown,
Yes.
we ain't gonna talk about the P word. Her brother's the P word, so we gonna talk about him. But I'm just saying the levels that she would go was we got a little glimpse of it. We was like, okay, Nicki, all right, but we're gonna look past that. But then the music is not giving what it's supposed to give. Your ex-men are getting families, whether they want them or not. They got families. They're getting the babies. They're getting the accolades. You got some of the new girls knocking on your door. Like, we're about to put this music out and it's about to stream more than you. And you got to get all these things are coming down on her crown. And I feel like had some of these things not happened, maybe she wouldn't have tried to pick the man she picked because she was dating people. She was dating other people. Nas didn't want you like that though.
I forgot about Nas.
And I really feel like you even was trying to go back to him to get that record pull because you know that was his sample anyway. But we ain't even gonna stay on it.
Okay, but okay, so let me ask you this.
Like,
Let's get off of Nicki for a second. What does this say about Kenneth Petty? Does he get any flack? Or is this just a come up for him? Like, do we have opinion about him at all?
I have an opinion about him. However, he's not the one facilitating all this because he doesn't have the pocketbook.
Okay.
He didn't have the pocketbook before, and we never heard of him. We never heard of this story. But now he has the means via his wife. It's like, okay, she gave you this. She almost gave you like her platform. He has access to all the barbs to do the dirty work. The pocketbook gave him access to the goons, so the goons can go do the dirty work because she's not beneath the goons. The goons pull up on Meek Mill. The goons pull up on academics. The goons pull up on a lot of people. You're the only one. You're the only person that keeps bringing up Redbone, and I love it because people forget that the girl got beat half to death because some goons pulled up on her.
Yes, yes.
I just feel like had a lot of stuff happened in her career, she would not be with Kenneth Petty. If none of those things lined up like it did, it would not be with Kenneth Petty. The reason why she put her foot in her mouth is because defending her husband and defending all them bedroom stories.
And here's my thing: if Nicki Minaj didn't want to be, if she wanted to be married to Kenneth Petty in peace, what she should have done is not be quiet. She should have not been quiet now. She should have been quiet then. She should have never got online. And I'm going to play it for you what she said. That was the Tasha K piece. Not that one. It's where she got online and said that she tried to recant her statement. Oh, why she keep popping up like that?
That white is right.
That white is right. Yes, I'm trying to find it, but girl, these other videos keep popping up.
As well as
here we go.
Something that he was wrongfully accused of doing when he was 15 years old.
Yes.
All because he didn't have $7,000 to get himself bailed out. Because when you in the hood at 15, you don't have that kind of money, neither does your family. And when the alleged accuser wrote a letter to the judge asking to recant these statements, she was told that she would go to jail for 90 days, allegedly, if she recants the statement. But white is right.
But white is right. Okay? And just because we playing clips, let's just play.
So listen. So yes, this is important. This is not about bad publicity or good publicity. This has to do with Nicki Minaj's reputation. And if you have a reputation linked to pedophiles, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you.
Manifestation is here, okay? Nicki ain't got no Grammys, but she got a rapist who can't pay now motherfucking bills
in that house. Okay? Let's take another call. Let's see what the people are saying. Oh my God. Oh, the calling, the number is just the girls are calling. Hold on. Let's see. Miss Melanated says Nicki hasn't been right since after Safari left her. Sean says whoever called the kid a parasite can't be trusted around no kids. No apologies. Crystal Allen, unpopular opinion, says, okay, let's talk about it. Okay, let's get her on the line. 0864.
Hi, Armon.
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, first I wanted to say that I think it was a caller before the last now. She almost took the words like completely off of my brain because people are sitting here thinking that maybe, Kenneth Petty could have lied to Nicki or, fed her some type of information to feel as though he didn't do that or that he was lying. But throughout all these years, we've always known Nicki to be like strong-minded, she doesn't let people think for her. It could have clearly been that, not that she feel like the lady is lying, but she probably feel like, she's Nicki Minaj, she got all this money, she could control this lady and make her change her mind to clear him. Like, this could have been all Nicki for all we know. Like, maybe she just feel like, that was so long ago, we can get your name clear, we can get you right, and, we'll never have to worry about this again. We can just go on with our lives. But that didn't work, apparently, because this is about to be the takedown of Nicki. And I'm not a Nicki hater or nothing. Like, I used to be a fan of Nicki when she was with Safari, but when Safari left, Nicki left. Like, she to some people, they continue, they like the music that she was putting out, but it just seemed like she was just never the same to me when her and Safari split up. That could be on either end. Could have been something he did, could have been something she did wrong, or maybe they just weren't right for each other at the moment. But she just never seemed the same after that. And then when you think about all the people were saying how nasty she is to other females in the business and in the industry, like, this could be just very, very bad karma for her. And it's hard to say, like, I don't want to sound cold-hearted, but it's like with certain people, you just got to understand what you put out there is what you get back. And you don't necessarily get it back the same way. It can come in different forms. And in this form, it could just be the whole takedown of her career, something she worked so hard for and she sacrificed a lot for, and she waited so late in her life to try to have kids and to try to get married. And when the woman was like, she could have had kids with anybody, technically she did. She did have a baby with just anybody. So it's not even like you made, like, this man is just something special. Like, maybe she needed to feel some type of security, and she got that within him, but what was it worth? Like, is it really worth all that's coming behind him just so you can feel safe? Because you can't control your mouth, and you can't control how you treat people.
Thank you. Thank you so much, baby. Thanks for calling in, love. Let me get to this, because they said, thank you. Okay, boom. Let me see. Sierra Smith says, Armon, you literally be having me in tears. You have the best YouTube channel. Thank you. And thank you guys for donating, because, child, I've been trying it with these videos. So we might get flagged, but I already knew this Kenneth Petty stuff. It's real tricky. Someone says, Armon, you didn't hear her today say that she tried to recant her statement. She said she stood up in court and said that to the judge. Yes, I did hear that. What she said was, you must be late, baby. Natasha, what she said was, she said that her family wanted her to recant the statement because they were in fear of the threats they were receiving from Kenneth Petty. They said that they took her to the court and she was sitting on the stairs and her back was turned to them, and the DA was walking out or whatever and asked her, why is she there? And she mouthed to the DA, or she kind of let the DA know that she was there to kind of like recant the statement because her family wants her to, drop the charges. So she said she went to the court And she said, she stood up and said, I just want to drop the charges. She said she didn't say it never happened. She said she wanted to drop the charges. They told her to exit left or right or whatever, and they released her. Okay? She didn't want to. She felt pressured because she was living in a foster home where she didn't feel safe. So since the beginning of this, Kenneth Petty has allegedly been trying to get her to get these charges dropped because for some reason, men don't mind having a N-word on their record. But they don't want that registering of that SO because it's an inconvenience and it just looks nasty. Okay? Let's take some more calls. 84444. Hello?
Hey, Armon.
Hey, what's going on?
What is going on? Yes, I'm so glad you brought up the fact that Jennifer said that she wanted to drop the charges, not saying that it didn't happen. She said that so clearly. And
yes,
I want
did.
people to stop saying that she wants to recant her story. She did not. She said it did happen. I just wanted to drop the charges because me and my family were being harassed. Second thing I wanted to point out is that she went public. She probably went public for protection. So let's go back. Do you remember that story that came out about that woman who was alleged murdered because Jay-Z had his goons sit out on her because she was pregnant? Do you remember
No, but let's not talk about that. You don't. Yeah, that's too heavy. But yeah, no,
okay.
yeah, but let's keep it moving.
Well, nobody knew. Okay, well, nobody knew what she looked like. So let's just say that if Nicki was to have something go out and do something to Jennifer, we wouldn't know what she looked like.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't know. So how can we identify her? So she had to get on TV for some type of protection so we can identify her and say, oh, that is that girl. If something was to happen to her, the police can identify her. The police will kind of be looking out for her. And don't think that that lawyer Tyrone is not already putting some type of protection on her. He's like, hey, this woman has 180 million followers. You need to get on TV because just
exactly.
By itself, it has, yes.
And listen, and if nothing else, even if they don't win the case, at least they will stop probably harassing her now because people can see her. People, like you said, people know what she looks like. So maybe she'll finally have a sense of peace.
Exactly. So she has to play her cards correctly because she don't have 180 million followers like Nicki Minaj.
And she don't have a lot of opportunities to speak. Exactly.
Exactly. Thank you. And so another thing, why are we putting everything on Kenny? Oh, Kenny manipulated Nicki, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. Nicki went looking for him.
Oh.
And I'm going to tell you why. How many people do you and you and I, regular people, how many people do we still see in high school on a regular basis?
Oh, child, I don't see them at all. None.
At all. Thank you. And when you do see it, what you doing? Dunking in the store, you be like, oh, shit, there go, I didn't mean to cuss. Oh, there go, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry, she got to go because she's just going to keep messing it up. Okay, thank you. I love you, baby. Thank you. 9580. Jesus. I can't see this one. Gosh, gee. Thank you for the donations, though, because I'm going to need them. 9508.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? So
Talk to me.
Say this first. I totally understand everybody, understanding that she is a victim. That should be completely understood, right? Mm-hmm. My issue is, we cannot blame Nicki Minaj for that.
Okay.
That's not her wrong. You know what I'm saying? Granted, she's with the guy who's done it. She has to take accountability for being with someone like that, but we can't say, well, she knew that. She's probably in love with the dude. He's telling her, like, I never did that, and blah, 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 blah. She probably really buying into that. Like, you know what? Maybe he did it. Maybe she did lie. Maybe maybe this is what she's buying into. And, you know, I personally believe the woman because that type of thing happened. You know what I'm saying? But for Nicki, though, she's so far in it. Do you know what I'm saying? She's probably in love. You know what I'm saying? So she probably is buying into the idea of him being an innocent person in it. You know, so my only stance is try to understand her space in it. Try to understand her as a woman. Yes, she went through these crazy toxic relationships with these guys. Maybe she thought she got a regular dude who not crying for the spotlight. He probably, this is all I've been waiting for. But then, boom, now this come out. He's telling you, I never do this. Now, she probably really one of those naive people that's buying into that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I feel like
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Because I think what's also interesting, though, on that is true. I could see that. But then Nicki Minaj, granted, you can't help who your brothers are. But she went out and tried to discredit the victim in that situation. Then she went and aligned herself with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who had an alleged SO offender case against him. You know, and now it's like she's always in these situations and she's standing like, I'm supporting this. So why is it that you're always surrounded by offenders or predators of some sort, and you always attempt to you know, take or dismiss the victim?
No, I'm not saying that, you know, it isn't like she's lined up with them, because I agree. As far as with the things, it's like that's her brother. She probably just supported her brother. As far as like, I got a lawyer from him. I never heard her support the brother and saying what he was doing was right. I never heard her saying that he didn't do it. All I heard her say was, they tried to swindle me out of money. That's the only thing I heard. I never heard her like, my brother didn't do that and going to court and all that. I heard she was like out of it. She just got the attorney. So on that end, I don't know. The Tekashi thing, I think that's just the money aspect.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think, because the conversation, honestly, is Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty trying to convince this woman to recant her statement? Do you believe that?
I really just don't know. You know, I just really don't know. I think we have to wait to hear Nicki's side, too. We can't just say, okay, this lady, everything she's saying is 100. We can't just say that. We have to hear her side, too. I think it's absolutely imperative for her to go on, like whoever show, like, listen, and say her part, bring your receipts or whatever it is, because, I mean, it's very possible that that's not the situation. I don't know. You know, she is having her moment. Paid to come on these shows. She not, again, I'm never victim blaming, but I'm saying she is definitely winning in this situation as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
What is she winning in this situation?
I mean, she's also getting paid to come on these shows, discuss these situations with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's Nicki Minaj's husband, that's the reason why it's at the forefront like this. It's not like if it was a regular.
Okay, so let's talk about the clout of it all. What kind of clout? I'm just asking. What does this victim truly gain? Or what is Jennifer? Let's just say she's a clout chaser. What does she gain?
No, I don't mean a clout chaser in that sense. I'm just saying me telling this story is not giving any bad situation to her. She gets paid to come on the show. You know what I'm saying? And she also, this is a huge star. I mean, let's be real. People do it for less. You know what I'm saying? People do it in, you know.
But I don't think the payment that she's getting from the Real, if there is any, is more than $400 or something like it's not nothing life changing. So what is that?
I mean, I don't know. Like I said,
you know what I mean? Like, you got to think about it. Like, what payout? What kind of payout would she be getting on this? Because she definitely didn't get paid on YouTube.
It's not going to stop here, though. We know it's going to be other. It's going to be other shows. It's going to want her to come out and speak. We know this ain't the end.
Okay.
She's going to have a whole YouTube show. I mean, a whole YouTube. You know, she's going to do it. You know, I'm not saying that she's in the wrong. I'm just saying anything's possible. I think we should wait to let Nicki say her piece, and as well as Kenny. This is where they have to step out.
Okay.
I'm not saying that she's on this thing. I'm just saying we got to hear all sides.
All right. Thanks, Boo.
Thank you.
Okay, she said we got to hear all sides. Okay, 3981. Well, let me get Let me get Eve on here real quick because she dropped us the Hyundai yesterday. 35385. Let's go.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. You know when I'm coming on, that last caller, you're loud and wrong. When
Okay.
I come on, I will provide you with receipts. Number one, she did defend her brother. First of all, his judgment last year, she wrote a letter to the judge so that they could minimize his sentence. Would you like the receipts of that? Because I can DM them to you really quick.
I don't have my phone, so just read it to me without using explicitory language.
Okay, without saying the words. And I'll even, boom. Hold on just a second. Okay. So Nicki Minaj wrote a letter defending her blank brother, our brother, who just got 25 to life. She wrote a letter to the judge. Oh, it says, he had been locked up since 2017. During today's proceedings, Miraj's lawyers read a letter from Nicki Minaj dated September 19th, 2018. So they utilized the letter to lessen his sentence. So if that isn't defending your brother, which it is her brother, but you knew what your brother did, the DNA was there. Number two, yesterday, if the problem here is Nicki Minaj's entourage. Kenneth Petty's entourage keeps inserting themselves. I DM'd you those receipts as well, but I'm going to have to read them clearly. Mr. King Time, Kenneth Petty's best friend, yesterday, after it was revealed that
I'm getting the receipts now.
She was going on,
I'm grabbing the receipts now, but you can tell me what's going on.
Yeah, he posted, "It's nothing real about you B words, nor the show. Y'all can't stop greatness no matter what y'all try." So he was basically, why would you say that? Like, you know what I mean? Clearly he said show, so it's definitely directed at Jennifer and them being on the show today. Do you see it? Or would you like to screen record?
No, I got that.
Okay, and I sent a picture of him next to Kenneth Petty and Nicki Minaj to show that they are acquainted and they are around each other.
Okay, and this is the goon that came to her house and the one that threatened her in that Instagram live video.
No, that's not the one. That's a different one. That's Black.
Oh, that's Black.
King Time. This is Kenneth, with Black and King Time are friends. There's a picture of them too, but I'll find it and DM it to you. But they're all connected. If you're all connected, but even then, why are you posting that on the Insta story?
Mm-hmm.
If it's not true, what are you hurting for? You're securing your bag. Why? You're securing your Nicki bag because you and Kenneth were both at that turkey drive that Nicki Minaj went to do in Queens, and you gave Kenneth a turkey, and that's how your flame reignited. That's the tea. And last but not least, a lot of callers are saying, well, Nicki Minaj, she has nothing to do with it. She's in love. She's this, and that. She could be all of those things. I sent you the other receipt. But Nicki Minaj, you can read that out loud. Nicki Minaj has been using herself and inserting herself in his case by letting him put on paperwork that he is her manager. It's on there. She also doesn't like the fact that he actually had to request to be at the child's birth, which is on there. And that is embarrassing. Could you imagine your own baby's father can't be at your first child's birth? That's another reason that he violated his offense, his registration.
Right.
Very, very you. That's another reason because he can't even take the child to a park or his first day of school. So for you guys to say, oh, she's not, she's in love. She don't know what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. It's an ego thing. She can't admit that the person that she got involved with and procreated with literally is the bottom of the barrel and can't even do anything without having to register. And her address is on the registry list. Like, come on now, common sense. And they keep saying, oh, it's clout and why is she doing this? If it was clout, she would have been took the money. It has nothing to do with Nicki Minaj. It's the fact that Nicki Minaj tried to paint a fake narrative about this woman's situation and trauma, all so that her man can look good and he can be in the public eye. At the end of the day, he has been registering for 20 years. He brought it on himself.
Yes.
So Miss Nicki Minaj, You're going to have to live with that. Why? Because until you go to court and you state what you need to state, all I see is the judge saying you're dead wrong.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let me read some of these things.
Read some of those, but then I have one thing to say, because
Okay.
I find it very, very disgusting that I see all of these comments by black women questioning another black woman about her situation. But when a white woman comes out and she speaks her truth, you never see white women questioning her or attacking the white women. They want to hear the white women.
Oh, child, I'm not finna get involved in that. Jennifer, ASMR Exotic Eats in Place says Jennifer is hiding away from her child who wants to be in hiding for the rest of their life. She is not gaining anything. Just like the last caller said, we get to see her face in just in case something happens to her. Beauty Skin Out says maybe she was a victim when she was a child, and that's why she's an apologist for these types of men. Maybe she thinks this is what love is. Maybe.
I mean, it's no shade. Her family, her daddy was crazy. He tried to burn down the house. Her brother, well, you know what he did. And then, I mean, her, it just runs in her family. It's no shade. And it's funny that you say that, because her mom went on a show, 103.5, and tried to blame the child for the son doing that. I wish I could send you that interview, but if you play, it's going to say the R word. But I find it's kind of weird that these mirage women will go toenail and everything to defend these men, even when there's DNA involved.
Well, Jean says, what do you think about them trying to get Kenneth's charges dismissed? But if that was an option, they should have went that route and left Jen alone. Am I right or wrong for thinking this way? Exactly. I feel like that was the desperate ploy. I feel like that. I don't know if they feel like they have a solid case in it. I feel like that's the last resort. But you're right. Why not start with suing the state of New York first? Why not do that why try to go and get with Jennifer? However, now let's just play devil's advocate. They're gonna have to prove that Nicki has been reaching out to them. So we don't know. This is all an allegation. This is still an allegation. Well, they still have to go to court and prove it.
I have one theory that I have been looking into. The day she got served was the day she went on that rant, correct?
Absolutely.
I 110%, I know that she knew that Jennifer was going to do this interview, and that's why she started all that, to paint a narrative that, it's a Nicki takedown because I spoke about the situation.
Oh, yeah, I feel that too.
The government. Let me tell you why. Because Karen Civil, she just got a show on Fox, that has to do a partnership with Clubhouse and Pop Sugar for Fox Talks. So I know that Karen knows people at Fox and knew that this was going to happen. Like, I just know. So she definitely is setting this up so that she could paint a narrative yet again, so she doesn't look like she's the bad guy.
So the narrative, so for the people that may not understand, because that conversation is already happening, because I was on Clubhouse earlier today, and the first thing someone said was, what if they put Jennifer on the reel to get back at Nicki Minaj for coming out and speaking her truth on Twitter? And that is the narrative that Nicki would like you all to believe, that she is being bullied as a black woman by the federal government for speaking out against the C-19. And see, she knows that many of us are divided when it comes to that conversation. And so it's easy to say, this is 2018 Nicki takedown all over again. And this is not the same.
The hate train.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yes, remember, Karen Civil works with these networks, and Nicki knows everything because of Karen Civil. And you can look up that Karen Civil has a new show coming out with Fox. So I'm 110% sure that she knew that this lady, Jennifer, was going to go on and speak her truth. So she wanted to get ahead of it, which would be 11 days after. She knew that the interview was 11 days after the 13th. And she also, is in the Fenty show, which drops. It was supposed to drop tomorrow, but now they're dropping it Friday. So everything is very calculated, but people won't believe it unless you do the research.
All right. Thank you, Eva. We're going to take a couple more. Bye. All right. We'll take a couple more. Let me see. Let me read. Ergs the Word says, between this and the Karen Civil nonsense, I've lost so much respect for these media empires. Like the Shade Room, expressive. The Breakfast Club is silent. Okay. Let me take another one. Okay, 7001. Wow, this queue is really lit right now. You guys are really in here. If you guys are enjoying the show, please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow us over on our Instagram and our Twitter at the Armon Wiggins Show. And thanks for stopping by today, okay? Hopefully you're having a good time. Usually we have a lot more bells and bombs, but I'm just trying to make sure that the stream is up and it's stuck. Okay? Seriously. All right. Where we at? Ciao. Y'all, we talking today. We're probably going to do an after show over on StationHead. Now, listen, this is my biggest pet peeve. If you send your phone number, okay, I need you to know your phone number, number one. And then number two, if you send your money, send it with the number. I don't see the number up here. And so I have to skip that person because I don't see the last four 7001. I see 9001. Let me look. I don't want to miss anybody. There it is. I see 9001. Okay. 9001, you're live on the air.
Hey, Armon, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm fine. I just want to say one thing about all of this.
Oh, this is my girl. What's going on?
Ain't a lot going on, but Nicki done got on my last nerve.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me about it.
I am an R survivor.
Okay.
And I went to, I was about her age. I was 17. And I'm not going to go into the details, but it was just horrible.
Okay.
And I didn't have anybody with me. I was away at college. I was all by myself. And I went to the district attorney. They called me in. They said, what do you want to do? I said, I do not want to go to court and testify. I can't do that. Because I almost failed all my classes that semester. I was so shook up.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you don't have to go. We'll get him to plead guilty to this.
Oh.
Hold on one second. Yes, come in. They said, we will get him to plead guilty to this, and you will not have to go. Thank you. And that's what happened. And, a lot of people say, well, why did you do that? I did it because mentally I was so shot. Like everybody on campus knew what had happened to me. And it's just like they doing this girl here. Everybody had a doggone opinion.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? How come you couldn't fight them off? Why did you go over there? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was all by myself. I didn't have that many. I had maybe 4 people on my side. And all the other black people in college talking about it. I couldn't face getting up on that witness stand by myself and testifying against this guy. And especially because he was someone I knew. He was my best friend's brother. So that made it even worse. Just like she knew him, I knew him. So this is a trigger for me. The way that they're treating her and everything. All this time later, 20 years later, want to still harass her like that. It took me years before I could even.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Stand to hear a man.
Let me ask you this. Just
Okay.
let's go on the flip side of things. What if, because this is still a case, right? So they got to prove it. So what if they cannot prove that Nicki has been and Kenneth has harassed, and this case somehow gets thrown out? Then what? Do we
Well,
just love Kenneth Petty now?
no.
Or like what happens then?
Well, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, and most people with any sense was concerned, when you have money, money determines justice.
Okay.
And Nicki has a lot of money. So she may be able to weasel him out of it some kind of way because she has the money to drag this lawsuit out. She has the money to do that. And to just lawyer, motion.
Yeah.
And my heart is with Jennifer because it takes years to get over something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literal years. It took me years before a guy could have like a really deep voice, and he wouldn't be arguing with me, but he's just trying to make a point. I would just start shaking. I would just start shaking and crying. And I did that for years. And it took all kind of counseling, group, single, meds, everything to get me past it. And I can honestly say it was a good, solid 10 to 15 years before I felt all right in my skin.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to be doing this to this woman, it's just inhumane. I hope they take Kenneth and Nicki, have them hold hands, and go straight to jail. That's what needs to happen. And she needs to win her lawsuit. And the last thing I'm going to think of is that I don't know who Nicki thinks she is, but she's going to try to offer a woman that she should have
$20,000. Ain't
the
that
opening bid should have been a couple of mil.
period?
That's the opening bid she should have came up with for her, not for her whole. Piss that woman out. I don't blame her. I wouldn't have taken it either.
Mm-hmm.
This happened to me 30 years ago, and I swear to God, if one of them came to me and said, I'll give you $500,000 if you drop that story, I'd probably get my pistol and shoot him.
Okay. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. Okay. Because she was ready. Okay. 7761. 7761, you're live on the air.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so one thing I'm thinking. So
Okay.
Nicki got on Queen Radio and said that it was a white woman. Now, she's never seen this lady a day in her life, never knew her. Who told her that she was white? Kenny. So if Kenny would lie about the race of the woman, then obviously he would lie about him dating her and him R-wording her, So that to me is just common sense right there. He already kind of showed the public that he's lying to you. Secondly, like I said before, if bribery in Gelato's case is a sign of guilt, then bribery in Kenny's case is a sign of guilt. You can't have it both ways. Now, with Cardi, not to bring her up into this, but I think it's really interesting that you never really see, Cardi shading her about this. Have you noticed that? Any chance Nicki gets to shade Cardi, she does. She takes it, whether it's Offset cheating on her or whatever. But Cardi could have said a lot of, slick stuff or whatever on Twitter about this, and Cardi hasn't really said anything. So that says a lot to me about Cardi's character versus Nicki's. And the last point I wanted to make, so with all the rumors that has been out there about her in the industry, her busting that puss low and spreading it wide, with everybody from Gucci to Quavo and the whole Young Money team, I felt like it was hard for her to find anyone of quality. You get what I'm saying? That would actually want to wife her up and have a baby with her. So she probably had to dig through the slums of New York City and find that R word. That's what I'm going to make.
Well, thank you. You got into some things very straight to the point. Thank you, baby.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Wow. Wow. You guys are really talking. Okay, let me see. Let's do this. Let me do this first. Let me see, because we got a full queue, but I want to give an opportunity. If I have any members If I have any members in the chat right now, that are on the call-in line, if you are a member and your number is in here, type your last 4 and I will bring you on. I will bring you on to call 4434, okay? You are a member, I will bring you on 4434. Okay, 4434, you live on the air.
Hey, Armon.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey.
Nothing. So I feel like Nicki been taking the L since Cardi came out.
Okay.
Also, she definitely went looking for him in Queens. I don't know where I heard it, but she went around looking for him door to door. So, she found what she was looking for. In my opinion, I feel like she was going after him because of what her brother did, just to get him like protection in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So then I feel like that kind of backfired on her, and she got pregnant and, you know, married, whatever. And, you know, it just is what it is.
All right. Well, thanks, Boo. And thanks for being a member. Thanks for supporting the show. I love you for that.
No problem.
Okay, let's take 5073. 5073, you live on the air.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I called the last time you did a live. I want to start off by saying I believe Mrs. What's her name? Jennifer. I believe her
Yes.
100%. Especially after her interview today, I had no reason to disbelieve her. With that being said,
So what do you believe? Okay, let's make it clear. There's what do you believe?
I think there was an interaction that happened between her and Kenny that she did not want,
Mm-hmm.
that she did not consent to. So that constitutes R for me, or at least attempted R at the least.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So he is no good of a person, period. Full stop. And I want to and that conversation is done for me, right?
But
now
I think,
we
but hold
move
on.
into
But I think, but the question
That-
is though. So do you believe? Because I think the bigger thing is, do we believe or not that Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty are harassing
boo.
her? Oh, you getting there? Okay.
And that's
Okay.
what
Go
I said.
ahead.
I'm gonna get there. That's what I'm saying. I think we're having like 3 conversations at
Yeah.
one time. So that part, I absolutely believe her, and I want
Okay.
to stop there, full stop, and not convolute things. Now,
Okay.
is Nicki harassing her? If Nicki was, at least if she can prove that Nicki was harassing her, she wouldn't be in civil court. She would be in criminal court. The police would take on that case. A prosecutor would take on that case. I think right now, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but at the same time, it's
Okay.
not what happened, it's what she can prove. So she might not be able to prove that it was Nicki, but rather that it was Kenny. And I think if she could prove that it was Kenny, they would be much more on it to prosecute him. So at the least, she can't prove it. I'm not going to say it didn't happen. But I am going to argue maybe it didn't happen. And I think we got to stop saying, oh, she offered her a birthday shout out, because the young Mrs. Hugh didn't bring that up today. So I don't know where that narrative came from. And she never said that Nicki spoke to her in a disrespectful way. I think Nicki, with her influence, said, okay, maybe let me reach out to her. Maybe I can get what I want out of her. And I'm not saying she should have. I wouldn't have. But with her platform, she said, okay, maybe I can convince her to do something. And she reached out to her. And I don't think she was necessarily angry at that. I think it was once the men started to show up at her house, once she seen what happened to Redbone, where she's like, oh, wait, my life can be in danger. And I think that's when she began to get scared. I also think that Nicki might have not sent those goons. It could have been just Kenny. It could have been Kenny doing it behind her back in her name and funding those men doing it. But then again, that's why you have to be careful who you married to, because y'all are not considered 2 separate people. Y'all considered one person.
Okay.
So that's where Nicki tripped up for me. But at the same time, still as a woman, I'm like, I can see myself getting into that kind of trouble, in the sense where I meet a man, and she didn't just meet him. Nicki had to have grown up with Kenny for her to come back and look for him to be her girl, to be her man. So she knew Kenny, and maybe she didn't know that side of Kenny. So it's very plausible that she was sitting up having pillow talk, and he's like, this and this happened, it didn't happen, they lied on me, it's a white woman, and for Nicki to believe it. I can totally understand it, her believing it, because y'all keep bringing up other artists' names, and other artists are literally in court going through something similar. It might not be R, but it's assault on other women because of her man put her in a situation. I'm not going to bring that woman's name up because I don't blame women for what their men put them through. So it's not only Nicki going through this. I think hers is most severe because we all look at the R word as the most deplorable thing, but it's not just her being put in sticky situations because of who they sleep with at the end of the day. I think we got to be careful with putting black women and minority women in these spaces when it's the men's fault. It is Kenny's fault. I'm not going to sit up here and give all this blame and vitriol to Nicki as if she are this woman. She didn't do it. She was trying to defend her man. She took it too far, and now she's going to have to answer for it. But I'm not overly pissed at Nicki. No. I think she shouldn't have done it. I do believe she did do it. Only she definitely has a hand in it. And again, like I said, when you're married, you consider one person.
All right, thank you. As far as the happy birthday, I can't remember if I heard it or if I read it. If I heard her say it herself on her YouTube interview, but I've heard the audio. The happy birthday wasn't for her. The happy birthday was for her daughter. Yes. So it was the $20,000 and she was going to do a happy birthday. And that was in the same conversation where she said Nicki, but she also didn't mention the $500,000 that was offered to her brother from Nicki to get her to relay that. So she left some of those minute details out, but I definitely heard her say it.
And that's why it might come back to bite her, because then they're gonna be like, well, if that was the case, why you never once said Nicki Minaj verbally said to you, I will offer you XYZ. Any good lawyer is gonna fight that. You get what I'm saying? And I know people are like, well, what is she getting out of coming on TV? I don't think she's getting a monetary gain, but at the very least, she's getting her word out there. So maybe she did want to press criminal charges. Now, with enough people speaking about it, having it out on Front Street, prosecutors might sit down and be like, all right, let's relook at this. Let's take this a second look.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what happened with the Bill Cosby's and the R. Kellys. It got enough traction in the media where they were like, all right, let's relook at this for a second time. So she could be just gaining that. Maybe she doesn't want monetary gain. She doesn't want clout. Who wants to be known as an R victim?
Yeah. Who wants to be known as that? That's what I'm saying. Who wants to be known as that? No.
We don't want to be known as that. So I don't think she's looking for monetary.
And then who
gain.
wants to be known as that going against Nicki Minaj? Like it's not just a regular person. Right. This is a mega star that you're going to hear and see everywhere.
And listen, like I just said, I think she genuinely believes her husband, and I don't blame her for that. I think she genuinely believes her brother, and I don't blame her for that, because there is a history of people being accused of stuff with DNA, and it was a whole, lie. So it's not out of this realm for her to believe them. I think it's the way that she went about taking care of this issue was out of pocket. But I don't blame her for defending her husband. She's supposed to defend her husband. I'm sure her husband didn't give her our vibes. She didn't get that. She would have never married that man. And I don't think it was street credit either, because somebody brought up Nas. I completely forgot about Nas. If you want a street credit, I don't think you can get no better than Nas. And he's presentable.
Maybe he dumped her.
I don't think that. Maybe possible. That's also a possible thing. But
my thing is my only situation, even with him though, I just feel like for women, it's unfortunate. And I can't tell a woman what to do, but it just is like when you're that kind of woman. I mean, let's just take a regular average woman that works a great job.
She don't have to be that kind of woman. You don't have to. I'm gonna use myself. I'm in my late 30s. I mean, I'm approaching my early 30s. I made a mistake and married the wrong man in my life. Don't nobody know me. So, and I sacrifice food, I sacrifice work. We have to be a little bit more mindful who we lay down with and have children with. Thank God, by the grace of God, I didn't have children in this situation, so I can just get up and bounce. But still, I sacrificed a couple of years for a man that wasn't an R word, but still put me in predicaments where it was like, all right, my life could have went left, all for the sake of love. And I was
because you imagine being very well off and financially stable, and you get a loser
and still making those mistakes. Absolutely, but it's not something that most women in this chat and most women in that are watching your show didn't go through. So I don't think we should give her so much heat. She should get some heat, and she needs to answer to this. But I don't think we should have all this vitriol just for this black woman. I'm not hearing too many people saying anything about Kenny, you know? And I think that's who we should be pissed at. I think that's who we should channel our energy at, but not necessarily Nicki. And I'm not a Nicki fan. I'm too grown for that. More power to all of them. I hope they all succeed. But she obviously didn't get our vibes from him.
Thanks, Boo. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
She got into some things. Bye. All right. You know, but listen, everybody is welcome here and all your opinions are welcome because we don't know. We got to see how it happens. But I think, too, with women, it's just frustrating when you see women in power and prominent black women. Because what example, we talk about for the kids a lot, you know, that's this narrative, you know, that gets thrown around with different topics of LGBTQ and this, that, and the third. It's what about the children? What about the children? And then we have these women like Nicki Minaj that will come out and say, well, you know, such and such as a black woman and I'm a black woman and they want to da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, well, what about the black women and the young girls that are looking up to you and watching you discredit or stand by? Let's take the registered SO part out of it. He's still an M word. He's still got some bodies on him. He's still a gang banger. Why? What? When you could get anybody in the world, you want to be blood gang. Why? What about the black girls then? What about the black girls that rock? This is why when they start trying to do that black women stuff, I have to sit back and say, what agenda are you trying to push right now? Who are you? Why are you gaslighting right now? What sympathy are you looking for right now? Because you don't truly believe in the strong, black, empowered woman because your actions don't speak and show as such. You couldn't tell me that you believe in black girl magic and black girl power and you sitting here going through some of the things like this. Then you lay down and had a baby. You had to think that people were going to talk about this. You cannot tell me that Nicki Minaj somewhere in her mind did not realize that this is going to be as big as this was. Did she think that people weren't going to talk about this? Well, I don't know. 3035, you're live on the air.
Hey, Armon.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I'm legendary show as usual.
Thank you, boo.
I'm not going to stay too long because I know you got a full queue going on. But
We do.
I saw the interview.
Okay.
And I also been like low-key in the bushes following Jen through all her YouTube tour. I feel like, how can I put this? I feel like something did happen to her because, okay, this is state. The state has it. He has charges. That's not in dispute. This man has been convicted of this. What does Jen want now? What do you want now? You don't want $20,000, okay? You want to be left alone, but yet and still, you put yourself out there. Nobody knew who she was. Those cases are sealed. Nobody's identity is put out there by the law. You get what I'm saying? So you put yourself out there, and now, like, Nicki Minaj is dumb. If she did try to extort her thinking back her story now doesn't make a lick of sense. It's not going to do anything. Kenny needs to do exactly what he's doing, suing the state of New York if he was wrongfully convicted. If he was. That's behind backwards. That's hustling backwards to try to get her to change her story before going to the state who put the charges on you. The state did it. Because Jen said in this interview today that she stood up in court and tried to recant. But the judge told her to take it up with the DA. So I'm confused. I don't like Nicki Minaj. I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan at all. I don't like a lot of things she do, including how she handled her brother's trial. She wrote a letter to the judge saying that the mom tried to extort her out of $25 million. You get what I'm saying? So she has a, I think Kenny reminds her of her brother. I think she sympathized. I think he came along at the time where her brother got locked up. She's going through a lot of family turmoil, whatever. And, she decided to lay down and make a baby and marry this man, take his last name. Now you got to take all the strife that come with him. When you marry somebody, you become as one. So all that money you had, you should have investigated this before you walked down the aisle and said, I do, and took this problem on as your own. And I think Jen is out for a little bit of a money grab. I hate to say it. This happened 20 years ago. Nobody knows that man was going to marry a Nicki Minaj. If he was married to Shaquita up the block, would you still be suing them?
Well, do you want me to answer that?
I think it's a money grab.
Well,
I mean, I can't.
Well, here's the thing. No, she wouldn't be suing him. Well, at least not on this public level. But here's why.
Right.
Here's why, though. Not because she wouldn't want to, but because once he got with Nicki Minaj is A-list celebrity. Let's be very clear. I'm going to marry you. We need her to recant her statement because I'm going to be going on tours. I'm going to be doing red carpets. I'm going to need you to be able to be in different places. And then two, I'm a celebrity. I'm going to make you a celebrity. We don't need this on your record. So we need her to recant her statement. So they are reaching, what she's saying is they have been reaching out to her to get her to recant her statement so that he can be removed from the registered offenders list. This is not her deciding one day to sue him because he's married to Nicki Minaj. They've been contacting her so that she can recant her statement.
But for what, though? The law don't work that way. It's not the state. It's not her that pressed the charges. It's her that the act happened to, yes. But because she was a minor, she has no say in that. She can say, no, it never happened. No. She can say that to the moon comes up and down. But the state pressed charges. So you need to be going after the state on taking those charges back, not her. I just don't get it. It's so stupid. It happened 20 years ago. This woman should not still be victimized. Her daughter, I don't get how they recognize her daughter. How did they walk up to her in a club and recognize her daughter? It's just a lot of missing things, and I just can't wait to sit back and see if this does go to court, because she has the burden of proof. Jen do. Nicki Minaj don't. She don't have to say nothing. Kenny don't have to say nothing. He's already, registered. We already know his deal. Jen has the burden of proof. And now she got T.I.'s lawyer. He can't even represent those women that had toes in their stuff. How the heck did you get him? Get a better lawyer.
I mean, he might be the new Lisa Bloom. I feel you on that because I'm side-eyeing the lawyer because I'm like, ooh, he's like the black Lisa Bloom.
Okay, but he can't. No, Lisa Bloom actually closes cases. He don't. He gets them on TV. He gets them press, but it never goes to court. Ain't no way I'm going to have T.I. toes on me and I'm not sitting in no court, or I'm not on the real. Why ain't I should be on the real. I had toes in me. That's weird. So you should need to dump that lawyer. Don't get Tasha K's lawyer. Get a better lawyer. Get Lisa Bloom and really go after them if this really happened. Otherwise, I feel bad for her. I do. I'm never going to take no victim away from their story because that's their story. I totally feel bad for her. And it has to hurt to see that man parading all around with Nicki Minaj, knowing that you have internal 20 years of hurt and shame on you. So I really feel bad for her. That I don't know what type of justice she's actually going to get.
Oh, baby, you have said a mouthful.
point.
Thank
But
you, boo. I love you for being a listener and a follower and a subscriber. All right, bye, babe.
And
Have a good day.
It. Love you, bye. You too, bye.
She got into some things. All right. Asia says her cousin put her name out first, which her cousin is Kenny baby mama's best friend. I forgot because Jennifer's family was coming out saying that Jennifer was a liar. Jennifer was this, Jennifer was that. So it's just a lot. We'll see. I believe that they're contacting her. If she can prove that they've been contacting her, there's some tea here. Now, the U.S. Marshal says that they have information showing that she has tried to get them, that they have phone records. And Tyrone said today that they have text messages from one of the guys that was saying that there was going to be a number that's going to call, and it's from Nicki Minaj. And that's the number that called her. So we're going to see. We got to see. This would be very interesting. All right, we're going to take maybe one more. Let me get the tea. 7587. Is that the latest one we got? 7587, child. 7587. Okay, 7587, you're live on the air.
Hey, Armon.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. Let's get into it. So,
Okay.
It's the people that keep saying if he was a regular guy on the street, if this wasn't, they're really getting on my nerves because they really don't see why she's speaking up. So yes, like the last caller said, it was the state that picked up the charges, right? And who is Kenny Petty suing right now? The state. So what would be the best evidence to have against the state? The victim recanted their story. So it makes sense that they were trying to pressure her. No, the charges wouldn't have went nowhere, but it would have helped them sue the state. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not clout chasing. These people are harassing her to recant her story so that can help their case against the state. Like, yes, like, are y'all slow? Like, what's going on? Like, that's why. I don't understand it, but and so I really feel like it never had to go this far, right? He could have just came out and made a public statement when we first started finding out his charges and everything. He could have said, you know, I was a different person. I served my time. I apologize for what I did. He could have reached out to Jennifer and said, look, Jennifer, I want to just let you know, you know, who I am now. This is who I am. I'm trying to get these charges, you know, taken, you know, whatever. Could you possibly come speak or whatever? It could have went a different way, but they weren't humble at all. You know, she had to be Nicki Minaj. But Nicki's already a hard person to like because of her personality. So it's like it would have been easier to like her if there was some accountability from her husband. And then on another thing with the whole just there's no outrage as far as Kenny goes. No one's talking about Kenny. Like, that baffles me, too, because there was more outrage against Lil Nas X, and all he's doing
right.
Oh, you know, like, make it make sense. Like, all the black people, all the straight people was mad. But you got these black women that are going to constantly cape for these straight, toxic black men. And I'm tired of that. Like, y'all going to do that forever. That's all I wanted to say, Armon.
You have really got into some things. I mean, you really kind of wrapped it up. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. All right. Rap MDTV says she wants the harassment and intimidation to stop regardless of the money. Lord have mercy. And I got to take it. All right. Last one. 4054. You're live on the air.
Okay, hey Armon. So I just wanted to say that I feel like with this situation, it's really a catch-22 for the lady Jennifer, because when people, just to kind of piggyback off of what the last caller just said, everybody keeps trying to make this, people making this point of what is she getting from this? What point is she trying to prove? Everybody is not always trying to prove a point because they're speaking up or out against something. Maybe it's not about gaining. I understand that we live in this capitalistic society where people find it hard to believe. People think it's impossible to just say something or speak up without kind of wanting something. Altruism definitely still does exist. And then we also have to consider the root of everything. This lady did not just wake up one day and decide, I'm going to go after Kenneth Petty. I mean, Nicki Minaj's own fans contributed to her own demise. And this lady was put in a position where her back was placed against the wall to where she's like, okay, well, I'm going to speak out for the sake of protecting myself and because I need people to understand whether you believe me or not, this happened. This actually happened. And the way that Nicki has been moving as of lately with her timing and the things that she's been choosing to shine light and put her attention on, if there was any inkling of a possibility that this lady was trying to negotiate or work anything out at all with these people, she definitely would not fail to notify us of that as a public. Nicki Minaj will not fail to notify us of that. So I need people to really just wake up and stop acting like she's above loving somebody who may have done something. Even the possibility, it's not about It's not about whether you think he did it or you think he didn't, or if you think Jennifer's telling the truth or she's not. It's about just acknowledging the possibility that this lady is not just getting on a platform talking. She has facts and lawsuits. Nicki Minaj has not filed any type of defamation suit. She has not sent anybody any cease and desist. Like, she's doing what she can do, which is suing the state, and I'm saying she in place of her husband because they are operating as one. She included herself. And people need to be honest. And people need to stop deflecting. Well, what about Charlamagne? And what about what Cardi B said? This is a subjective situation. Nobody is saying that Nicki Minaj is wrong here. Doesn't mean that we're indirectly saying that on the other end of the scale that those people are right. I don't understand that tactic that people use. Well, let's not talk about Nicki because you have a point. So instead, let me bring up somebody else, which is a valid point. Those situations are valid, but that's not what we're discussing. And so people are easily manipulated listening to some of these YouTubers and allowing them to, well, don't forget about what this person said and what they admitted to, and don't forget about what Charlamagne did, and don't forget about what this person over here did. We're going to line them all up, but right now we're addressing Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj, and her husband, her godforsaken husband. So lastly, I also just wanted to say that, again, like I said the other day, cognitive dissonance. If you don't know what it means, Google it. And if a lot of you, if you don't know what it means and you have the time to go and look into it, you might see some relief in the fact that you may be struggling with that. All right? But I'm done. Bye, Armon.
You said what needed to be said. She went in, but she said what needed to be said. I just wanted to listen. She pretty much wrapped that right on up. I like what she said there. Did we? Oh, we got one more. I was gonna let her rock. She said what needed to be said. What is the last caller? Beauty H. Let me type in your last four in the chat, please. Okay, I believe that they both came to an agreement that they would make Jennifer recant her story one way or another. All right. So listen, today was a legendary show. Kenneth Petty is trending on Twitter. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can log into my Twitter. Ciao. I got a new computer, so girl, I ain't logged into Twitter yet. So if this take too long, I'm not finna do it. Because you know, girl, I ain't got time to be trying to play with all this stuff. We've been having a good day. Girl, I have to do this on another computer. And the shade is I'm probably going to end up getting another computer because this one ain't giving me the something that I need. Hold on. They said Kenneth Petty is trending on Twitter. Let's see what the tea is. Let's see what is trending on Twitter. Tory Lanez and Kenneth Petty. Let me see. No, that's not it. That's not it. Hold on. I'm about to pull it up for y'all right now. So we can get the tea. If you guys haven't done so, please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Is this my Twitter? Hold on, baby. Here we go. Boom. Let's get the tea. What is going on Twitter? They said Kenneth Petty is trending. Latest tweets. Nicki Minaj needs to shut up and Kenneth Petty needs to speak up. Appreciate the Real Daytime for giving Jennifer Hugh a safe space to talk. Protect her at all costs. People who ask the... Oh, no. I'm just getting the tea. Stop lying. Y'all garbooms defending Kenneth is so embarrassing. Nicki Minaj, girl, I don't give a F what is going on with your husband in the media. It's getting on my nerves. I'm a fan of Onika and Tanya Mirage, not Kenneth Petty. Ain't dropping no albums nor documentaries. Therefore, this whole situation is invalid to me. Yeah, girl, that documentary is getting pushed back yet again. Me watching some of these weird barbs defend Nicki's comments about Jennifer Hugh and Kenneth's actions. Child, it is a mess right now on Twitter. They're dragging it.
I did. In March of 2020. She called me. And she said that she got word that I was willing to help them out in a situation. I didn't understand what she was referring to. She offered to fly me and my family to LA. She...
Y'all gotta go watch that, child. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. Well, we had another legendary show here. We kept at least 4,000 people in the chat. It was a whole vibe. I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Thank you guys all for coming on here. Remember, let's keep the conversation going on Twitter. My name is Armon Wiggins. I'm at the Armon Wiggins Show. Use the hashtag the Armon Wiggins Show. You see the Armon Wiggins Show. You can find me everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, all of the things. Let's keep the conversation going. We will be back. And we're going to also head over to StationHead. If you guys don't have StationHead, or you guys can Google Armon Wiggins on StationHead, and the link will pop up. And I will post it on my community tab too for those people that want to do the after show over on StationHead. Okay, I love you guys all for coming in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.